How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Hopefully, you're having a glorious day. A glorious day. We're going to be talking about a foreign country here. That's right, we're going to be talking about a foreign country. I've heard the story. Now, let me say, I support these countries. I support that they're enforcing their laws. I support that they should be held accountable. I mean, the people that are being held because they committed a crime in a foreign country. Now, I do sympathize with them. But when you travel abroad, you have to make sure you know the laws on that foreign country. That means you also have to make sure you're not bringing contraband. It's not up for America to protect you when you're an idiot. With that being said, do I think the punishment's a little severe? Absolutely. But 5 Americans held in Turks and Caicos for having ammunition. U.S. lawmakers failed to secure their release. I mean, here's a novel idea. Don't bring ammunition on the airport. Check your bags. Seriously, check your bags. Learn the laws of the country you're going to. This is by NBC News. This is from MSN.com, mainly because of the comments. U.S. lawmakers travel to Turks and I think it's Sicily or Caicos to push for the return of 5 American citizens detained on ammunition possession charges, but failed to facilitate their release. Americans were arrested in the last 5 months under a strict law in Turks and Sicily or Caicos that prohibits possession of firearm or ammunition and carries a mandatory 12 years sentence. One American, Michael Lee Evans, was jailed in December. Brian Hagel was arrested in February. And 2 Americans, Ryan Watson and Taylor Scott Brerich, have been detained since April. The latest arrest occurred on May 13 when Sheriff Grier was jailed. Senator Mark Wang Mullen said a group of lawmakers went in respect and with an open mind looking to find common ground during the meeting Monday with the governments. Unfortunately, despite our willingness to work with the government's officials to get our constituents home, we were not able to find a path forward today, Mullen said in a statement on Twitter, also known as X. At this point, well-intentioned American citizens are facing dozens of years in prison for unknowingly to have 1 or 2 bullets in their luggage. Keep in mind, you're going abroad. I mean, I understand America is very pro-gun. There's laws restricting the government what they could do. Unfortunately, we are in the minority. Other countries don't have an amendment like we have the Second Amendment. Well, I do feel sympathy for them, but at the same time, they kind of did it themselves. Watson of Oklahoma traveled to the islands with his wife, Valerie Watson, and 2 friends celebrated his 40th birthday on April 7th. The trip came to a screeching halt when the airport staff found hunting ammunition in a carry-on case belonging to the couple. They were hunting ammunition rounds that I used for white deer, he told NBC Boston. I recognized them. I thought, oh man, what a bonehead mistake that I had no idea that those were there. And that's the issue. You didn't know that was there. You went to the islands, and then when you're exiting the airport, you got caught. The couple was arrested, but the charges were dropped against Valerie Watson. She later returned home to Oklahoma City. Airport security also found ammunition in Hagrid's luggage as he tried to board a flight with his family out of Turks. I don't know if I'm saying this country name right. It's either Calcios or Sicios, or Calxios or Sissicos. Hogan of Pennsylvania said that he accidentally left it in his bag. Rancher 31, Virginia was arrested after two 9mm were found in his bag after he tried to reboard a Royal Caribbean cruise ship following the breach excursion report. He told the news station that he had used the bag to go to the shooting range with friends and checked the bag before his trip. Did he check the bag, though? It was just a couple of oversight on me to TSA and the port security. He said 3 groups missed that ammunition. I mean, how good is the TSA if you're not finding ammunition? Let's see here. Greer, 45, Florida, said the ordeal has been a nightmare. She told NBC Boston that she took the trip to the islands for Mother's Day weekend with her daughters. Greer was arrested after security at the Howard Hamilton Airport in Provinciales found 2 bullets in her luggage, according to the station. It was an honest mistake. It fell up under the bathroom of the flap of my carry-on. There's no way possible I could see it because the flap is in the bottom. They took the bottom of the flap out, and that's where the 2 rounds was in the bottom of that flap. There's no way I would have known or seen them in there. You know, I'm going to call cap on this one. Mainly because it is your responsibility. If you are a gun owner and you choose to use a bag, it is your responsibility to make sure you know the ins and outs of said bag. I'm just saying. Let's see here. So there's no way I would have known or seen them in there. U.S. Embassy of Bahamas have warned travelers in September the authorities of the 2 countries strictly enforce laws referring to firearms and ammunition. Violators are subject to TCI law and must follow the local law enforcement procedures, and the embassy will not be able to secure your release from custody, it's said. Sam Mullen said the island law has unintended consequences. No, it does not have unintended consequences. It just has consequences. We'll stay at the table, though, the process until the issue is resolved. He said in a statement, Senator John Fetterman joined lawmakers on the trip and said that they had a chance to meet with the detained Americans. These people did not set out to break the law, he said in a statement. They have people who made a mistake and now face substantial time in prison because of it. As we articulate the TCI officials, I urge the court to be lenient when addressing this case. Fetterman said he left messages. I left the meeting. Still haven't learned to speak, I should say. Optimistic that we can get this resolved. Rep. Josh Burchin, Republican Oklahoma, said the lawmakers had a diplomatic discussion with the government officials, reiterated that with the Turks economy being 65% on tourism and with 80% of that coming from the United States, it is in their interest to ensure justice prevails. So you're going to threaten them? Are you going to do a petition the president to do sanctions on this country because 5 idiots decided to bring ammunition that didn't check their packages or their bags? You're throwing out threats. We're empathetic that this would be unfathomable for 5 Americans, including Oklahoma's own Ryan Watson, to face 12 years in prison for accidentally leaving a handful of shells in their luggage. He continued. Rep. Bob Good said on the post, he is very concerned about the consequences that the Americans face. The governor office said in the news release, per the constitutional separation in the executive and judicial branches, Gov. Delaney Daniel Severton and Honorable Premier Charles Washington Richard cannot intervene or comment on pending legal cases, but the court can find that there's exceptional circumstances where the judge can impose custodial sentence and a fine that is that are fair and just in the circumstances of each case rather than impose a mandatory minimum. The office said if the Americans were sentenced, Breed said the U.S. must respond appropriately using economic tool in our toolbox. You're threatening another country. I mean, I get that they're American citizens, but at the same time, they went to a foreign country and broke the rules. Even 72 of Texas pleaded guilty to possessing 7 9mm rounds of ammunition, according to the authorities. It is scheduled to be sentenced June 18th. Winter and Watson also have their court hearing in June. Police said Gear's hearing is scheduled for July. The article was originally published on NBCNews.com. Let's see here. Very unfortunate. Be a good idea to separate your bags and your luggage into two separate categories: those you use for hunting range training and those that you use for your leisure, vacation trips, etc. Keep them separate. It's also evident that none of those arrested for firearm violations did so maliciously, and the government of the blah 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 should take that into full account. The government does not do so. The majority of U.S. tourists are going to go elsewhere and spend their vacation time and money. I mean, I get the sentiment. I understand the sentiment. Other countries also passed tired of ugly Americans simply because they didn't know what was in their luggage. Is that really fair by the TSA? And how much do you think those Americans pour into their economies? You're not excused for laziness to expect someone else to do what you as an individual should do. Not sure what gen you're from, but my gen, we handle our business without making excuses with exceptions. Let someone else do what we should have done. That's lazy man argument. Let's hear blaming the TSA doesn't cut it. This is personal failure or ignorance of the law. That is not a defense against a violation of the law, and they should have cleaned their luggage. And this isn't one random instance, it's multiple offenders. Everyone whom is in America is knowable that there aren't people from other countries facing these charges. Maybe there are, we're just not hearing the reports. American gun nutters are a special breed. I bet half the people here defending the guys with ammo were also about throwing the books at Brittany Griner. Yes, I was. There's another one that we should never gotten involved with, but I get it. She's a basketball star, the WNBA. Can't have those people being arrested. It's clearly unintentional in all cases. Maybe we should suspend travel to and from there, and I would think that would hurt. Once again, you're lobbing threats towards another sovereign country who has laws on the books. Some idiots didn't read the law, understand the law, or didn't do their due diligence to make sure they weren't breaking the law. They shouldn't have to suffer. The people that committed the crime, intentionally or unintentionally, are the ones that have to suffer. Dear Brittany should have checked her luggage. All that stuff coming back now. How many months did the lady spend in jail in Russia for a vape cartridge that she purchased? I mean, she may have purchased it legally, but she was illegally in Russia with it. See her play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I agree. I mean, I am pro Second Amendment. I am pro guns. I'm pro ammunition. But those are American values. Those are American only values. And I recognize that we are in a minority of countries that allow that. So while I am sympathetic to their cause, I'm sympathetic to their plight. They forgot to make sure that they didn't have any ammunition or didn't understand or read up on the laws to know that that was an issue. But of course, that's my opinion on it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. You can agree with me or disagree with me. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.